Evolution explains how animals become better suited to survive and reproduce in their environments over many generations. The most important idea to get right from the start is this: individual animals do not evolve, populations evolve. An animal is born, lives, and dies with the traits it has. What changes over time is how common certain traits are in a population. Evolution happens through a process called natural selection, and it works with simple logic. First, there's variation. No two animals in a population are exactly the same. They differ in size, color, behavior, and physiology. Second, some of those differences are heritable, meaning they can be passed from parents to offspring. Third, more offspring are born than can survive, so there is competition. And fourth, individuals with traits that help them survive and reproduce in that environment tend to leave more offspring. Over many generations, those helpful traits become more common. Nothing in this process is intentional. Animals do not evolve because they need to. The environment does not plan outcomes. Natural selection is just the result of which individuals reproduce more successfully. To understand this, imagine a population of animals living in a snowy environment. Some are born with lighter fur and some with darker fur. Predators can spot dark fur more easily against snow. Lighter fur animals are more likely to survive and reproduce. Generation after generation, the genes for lighter fur increase in the population. The population evolves, even though no individual animal changed its fur. New traits do not appear because they're useful. They come from genetic variation. The ultimate source of new variation is mutation, which is a random change in DNA. Mutations are random with respect to what the animal needs. Most are neutral or harmful, but occasionally a mutation produces a trait that is helpful in a specific environment. Sexual reproduction also creates variation by reshuffling genes, producing new combinations of traits. Gene flow, when individuals move between populations, can introduce new genes. Chance events, called genetic drift, can also change gene frequencies, especially in small populations. Natural selection then acts as a filter. Traits that improve reproductive success tend to spread. This does not mean the strongest always survive. Fitness is about leaving offspring. A smaller animal that reproduces earlier or more often can be more successful than a stronger one. Selection can work in different ways. Sometimes it pushes traits in one direction, like larger beaks during droughts. Sometimes it favors average traits, and sometimes it favors extremes. Sexual selection is another powerful force. Traits like bright colors or large antlers can evolve because they increase mating success, even if they make survival harder. The results of selection are called adaptations. Structural adaptations include things like camouflage, claws, shells, or wing shapes. Physiological adaptations involve internal processes, such as conserving water, tolerating heat, or entering hibernation. Behavioral adaptations include migration, hunting strategies, social cooperation, and avoiding predators. All of these traits exist because they improved survival or reproduction in past environments. Complex traits evolve gradually. A structure like an eye did not appear all at once. It evolved through many small steps, each useful on its own, from simple light-sensitive cells to more complex forms. Evolution often reuses existing parts for new functions rather than starting from scratch. Evolution also involves trade-offs and limits. A trait that helps in one situation can cause problems in another. Thicker fur helps in cold, but causes overheating and heat. Bright colors attract mates, but also predators. Evolution works with what already exists and cannot break the laws of physics or development. That is why organisms are not perfectly designed. Over long periods, populations can become so different that they can no longer interbreed. This is speciation, and it explains the diversity of animal life. Sometimes evolution happens slowly over millions of years, but it can also happen quickly when environments change rapidly. Animals can also respond without genetic change through phenotypic plasticity, like changing behavior or physiology within a lifetime. This can help them survive short-term changes, but long-term survival usually requires genetic evolution. So, when we say animals evolve to survive, what we really mean is this. Inherited traits that improve survival and reproduction tend to become more common in populations over generations. Evolution is not driven by need or effort. It is driven by variation, inheritance, and the simple math of who leaves more offspring.